Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about how to write equations from word problems and then solve them to give an answer. So the first thing I'm going to start with is some helpful equation skeletons, so how to put together these equations and the different things that you're looking for. So for addition, we're obviously going to be writing an x plus something equation is equal to something else, and you're going to be looking for two parts that add up to a total. For subtraction, it's going to be your variable minus something is equal to the result of that. And you're looking for keywords that mean subtraction. So our keywords that mean subtraction are going to be less than, fewer, and difference. I don't like that color. Less than, fewer than, or difference are going to be the things that you're looking for in your word problem that are going to help you write the equation. For multiplication equations, we're going to be looking for how many of something times how much, or if we're looking for like a number of shirts or a number of hours or a number of minutes or a number of months, that's going to be multiplication is equal to how much your total is. We're going to be looking for words like per and for each and for every in our problem. That's going to tell us that we're doing something over and over again and that we are multiplying. For division, we're going to take our total, so our variable is typically going to be our total amount that we're looking for. We're going to divide by the number of groups, so how many people are sharing it, how many groups are we splitting it with, and that's going to tell us how much it is for one person or for one group, okay? So we're going to go through and we're going to kind of go through a mixture of these word problems. We're going to define a variable, so what does our x represent? What is the missing piece of information that we're trying to find? We're going to write an equation, and then we're going to solve that equation and give a solution with units. And I've got two of each type of equation, so 2 addition, 2 subtraction, 2 multiplication, and 2 division. So number 1 says Kaya and Mila have 245.5 downloaded minutes of music. That's going to be the total minutes of music. If Kaya has 132 minutes, how many belong to Mila? So here, this question right here tells us what our variable is. So I'm going to say x equals Mila's minutes of music. And then it says write and solve an addition equation. So I know I'm writing an addition equation. So it's going to be x plus something is equal to something else. I've already got my variables, so x plus. And then I know that 245.5 is the total. So I'm going to do x plus 132 is equal to 245.5. So Mila's minutes plus Kaya's minutes equals 245.5 total minutes of music. So now I'm going to solve my equation by subtracting 132 from both sides. And I'm going to get x equals 113.5 minutes belong to Mila. Number 2 says, in order to earn a pizza party, students must earn 50 points. So again, that's our total. They're telling us what we need to get to at the end. If Jacob already earned 30 points, how many more points does he need to earn? So again, that question tells us what our variable is. So I'm going to say that x equals points needed. Write and solve an addition equation. So I'm going to write and solve an addition equation. So I know it's going to be x plus something is equal to my total. So the points I need plus the points I have is equal to the total number of points. So x plus 30 equals 50. And I'm going to solve by subtracting 30 from both sides. So x equals 20 points. And notice when I solve my equation, I am including a unit as part of my answer. Number 3 says, Royce's height is 4 inches shorter than Mr. King's height. Royce's height is 58 inches tall. Write and solve a subtraction equation to find Mr. King's height. So here I'm going to find Mr. King's height. That means that's my variable. So x equals Mr. King's height. And it says Royce's height is 4 inches shorter than Mr. King. Shorter means that I'm going to subtract. So x minus 4 is equal to 58. So Mr. King's height minus 4 is equal to Royce's height at 58 inches. So I'm going to solve this equation with addition. So x equals 62 inches tall. And that is how tall Mr. King is. So I would say Mr. King is 62 inches tall. Number 4 says the difference between the number of people that visit Cedar Point on Saturday and the number of people that visit on Wednesday is 1,465. There are 4,320 visitors on Wednesday. How many visitors are there on Saturday? So my variable is going to be the answer to this question. So x is going to equal the visitors on Saturday. And now I'm going to look at my word problem again. So it says the difference, and difference means subtraction. So there's my operation. And it says between the number of people that visit on Saturday and the number of people that visit on Wednesday. So my equation is going to be written as Saturday minus Wednesday is equal to 1,465. And then it says there are 4,320 visitors on Wednesday. So I am going to put 4,320 visitors on Wednesday in for Wednesday in my equation. So my equation is going to say x minus, because my variable is Saturday, 4,320 is equal to 1,465. So I wrote my equation out in words right here. So this right here I wrote out in words so I could see exactly where the numbers were supposed to go. And then I replaced those words with either the variable or the values that were needed. And I could do that for any of the equations that I've written so far. I did it specifically on this one because of the way the question is written. It says the difference between, and we don't see that a ton when we write out word problems. So I wanted you guys to see what that wording, how that phrasing describes the equation. So I'm going to add 4,000, change it from the highlighter. I'm going to add 4,320. So x equals 5,785 people on Saturday. Okay, so that's addition and subtraction. Now we're going to move on to some multiplication and division. So number 5 says Nicholas and some friends shared the cost of a package of blank CDs. The package cost $24, so that's the total, and each person contributed $6. How many people shared the cost of the CD? So here is my variable. So x is going to be the number of people. Write and solve a multiplication equation to find out how many people shared the cost. So it says the package cost $24. That is the total. So remember, in our skeleton, it says something times x equals the total. So how many times how much equals the total. This says each person contributed $6. That's like your for each, your for every, your per. So I'm going to say that 6x equals $24. And then I'm going to solve this by division. So I'm going to divide by 6 on both sides. So x equals 4 people. Number 6 says a jewelry store is selling a set of 4 pairs of gemstone earrings for $58, including tax. Amber and 3 of her friends want to buy the set so each could have 1 pair of earrings. Write and solve a multiplication equation to find out how much each person should pay. So here's my variable. The fact that there are 4 pairs of earrings in the set doesn't really affect the equation, because each person, we're talking about how much each person is going to pay, not about the number of earrings that they're getting. So while they tell you that there are 4 pairs of earrings, that is an extra number that you don't need. We do have to focus on Amber and her friends. So it says Amber and 3 of her friends. So there are 4 people total. So that's going to be 4x. So how many people did it times how much per person is equal to the total cost of the earrings. So even though there's a 4 in the problem, it's representing the 4 people, not the 4 sets of earrings. So I'm going to divide by 4, and x equals, and I'm using my calculator, 58 divided by 4 is going to be $14.50. When you are solving these equations and you get that decimal answer, that 14.5 in the calculator, because that's what I just got in the calculator, remember that you're talking about money, and we don't say $14.5, we say $14.50, okay? Number 7 says Olivia is buying party favors. She has a budget of $275 a person for 6 people. How much can Sophia spend on party favors? So there is my variable. My question is typically what my variable is. So x equals amount to spend. And in this one, I'm taking the total amount that I'm spending, and I want to do it for 6 people. So I'm going to share this with 6 people, and that is going to be $275 per person. So the total amount divided by the number of people I'm sharing it with, or the number of people I'm splitting it amongst, is equal to how much is that cost per person. So she has a budget of $275 a person, and then there's 6 people. So in this particular one, this is our fraction one, so we're going to give both sides a big hug. And I'm going to do 6 over 1, and I get x equals 2.75 times 6 is $16.50. So she can spend $16.50 on party favors. Number 8 says 3 friends decide to split the cost of a pizza. Each friend ends up paying $7. How much was the pizza? So here's my variable, cost of the pizza. And I'm going to take the cost of that pizza and I'm going to share it with 3 people, and each person is going to pay $7. Okay, I've got my fraction, so I'm going to give both sides a big hug. So 3 over 1, 3 over 1. So x equals $21 for the pizza. Okay, this is the end of my examples. Hopefully you, at the very least, have the skeletons written down from the very top here. Those are going to be extremely helpful to you as you're reading through these word problems and trying to put together and kind of figure out where things are supposed to go. Again, we've done 2 addition, 2 subtraction, 2 multiplication, and 2 division. We are going to do a lot of practice with this over the next several days for writing and solving word problems. Make sure when you give your answer that you do give your answer with units.